On episode 10, yes, 10, I've made it to 10 episodes of Luke Who's Talking. I'm going to talk about 50,000 emails, Poirot, and the word dank. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Luke Who's Talking with me, Luke. How you going out there? How you doing? I hope you're going well. I hope your week's been going well because, of course, this is going to be released on a Friday. So I hope you've had a good week. And if you're in Australia, well, if you actually live where I do, hype, long weekend, Monday, you get it off so you can get, I don't know, absolutely slaughtered over the weekend and you don't have to worry about going back to work Monday. Anyway, now let's get into the first story. So a few months ago, sort of mid to late September, so a month? So what was September, October? Yeah, so about a month ago. Anyway, whenever it was, I was at work and we use Google Hangouts to because the email suite is Google. So we use Google Hangouts so you can talk to other people around the building without having to go to them or get on the phone or whatever. So I didn't have my own email, so I was using one that was a former employee's. So somebody's like, oh yeah, use so-and-so's email. Okay, so I logged in, and this email address, this email had over 50,000 emails. Actually, I took a picture of it, so of how many emails were in the inbox. But yeah, it had over 50,000 emails. Now, I believe that the email had been sort of sitting dormant for, I think, about a year or so. And over that time, it had gathered 52,119 emails. Yep. Let's just think about that. 52,119 emails were in the inbox of this email account that I was using. What's happened since is that the particular account has been changed into my name and the IT guy wiped all the emails. But me and a colleague, we started getting rid of them, but you can only do, I think there's 10 per page on Gmail. So we sort of like clicked all 10 delete. And that would have taken us forever, but like while we were working, we were just sort of, doing it. We weren't like, oh, let's get rid of all these emails, but we were doing it. And yeah, that was that was really interesting. But yeah, we logged in and we're like, oh, and I said to them, there's over 50,000 emails here, and it was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, what these emails are a lot of press releases and a lot of things that the previous person has been subscribed to that were coming in, just being generated. And of course, you get work emails where people just type in like all staff, and the email they send goes to like everybody who has an email account at the station or at the office where I work. And actually, I got an email from somebody the other week, because what I've done since is I've thought, just so this doesn't escalate again, I put the email account on my phone and I check it every week just to see, get rid of emails, archive them, whatever, just so it doesn't escalate into, logging in one day and there being over 50,000 emails on there. And there was one the other week, and it was from somebody from the Sydney office, and they'd obviously have just typed in like all staff for the company, and the email went to everybody. And what was the email about? Oh, it was about the NBN. It was like Telstra NBN down at the Sydney office. And like, classic Telstra. Absolutely classic. But yeah, so just keep in mind and watch your emails, folks. My personal emails has probably escalated a bit. I need to probably give that a bit of a clean out. But yeah, 50,000 emails. I would imagine that would be nearly max storage. I think Gmail has 30 gigabytes or Google accounts have 30 gigs. So it would have to be really close to maxing out. But 52,119 emails. Ridiculous stuff. Absolutely ridiculous. Do you like detective shows or like detective stories? I've got to say, I think, Sherlock Holmes, great detective. Miss Marple, great detective. Poirot, the Belgium. He's not French. He is from Belgium. Great detective. Now, Poirot, I do watch it. It is on TV here, and it's just something interesting to watch. I like watching it. Like Captain Hastings, good old Arthur, and he likes his car. He's like, "Oh, look at my car. It's an old Bentley. I don't think it is a Bentley, but it's an old Bentley. I'm very English. Oh, Captain Hastings, Arthur. What a name! Great name." Now, Poirot. Well, actually, these investigators, they always seem to get a confession. They always seem to solve the case pretty much without any evidence at all. And I think Poirot is the king of this. He doesn't, well, when I say evidence, he doesn't have any physical evidence, or very rarely he has any physical evidence. So what happens is, there's been a crime. Poirot and Hastings, mainly Poirot, solve the crime, and then they get gathered in a room at the end, and Poirot says, you did this crime, and let me tell you why. And it usually escalates into the criminal having a meltdown and confessing, yes, I committed this crime. But yeah, old Poirot, I reckon he'd be great on a show like Catfished, where they go out and they find people who have been cheating on their partners, and they're like, "Oh, you're a cheat," and they're probably like, "Oh no," or whatever. And he'd be great in that because he could be like, "You did this, and let me explain to you why," and then whoever's like, "Oh no, you caught me, Poirot." Oh, but the people, they're just chumps, and they're like, "Yeah, I committed this crime," and they say like confident about it. "Yeah, I killed this person. Let me tell you why, Poirot, because you told me why I did it. But let me tell you why I actually did it." And they're like, blah, 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 blah. So, but I love those shows. And yeah, old Poirot, he's a great, he's one of the great fictional detectives, isn't he? Poirot, Miss Marple, and probably Sherlock Holmes. Great. I've actually got a T-shirt now. Some people might know that I am a fan of the comedy T-shirt, and I have one, and it's called the Trenchcoat Detective Agency. It's got that printed on the front of it, and it's got various TV detectives. So one of them is Poirot. Sherlock Holmes is on there as well, and there are, I think, Columbo, and there's another guy. There is a fourth detective, and they are like the Trenchcoat Detective Agency because they all wear trench coats and they look suave doing so. But yeah, old Poirot, love him. And I love how he can get a confession and solve a crime without any evidence. We need more of that. Maybe somebody needs to be involved in some sort of federal investigation and can be like, you committed these crimes. I'll tell you why. Everybody needs a Poirot on their investigative team. Let me talk about a word. Now, the word is dank. D-A-N-K. Yep, dank. Now, people use the word dank these days to mean like cool, good, exciting, whatever. But dank is actually like a Scandinavian word for moist and damp, as I have found out. But I started using the word to a colleague or with a colleague, sort of like ironically. Like, well, they're doing something. I'm like, oh yeah, geez, that's dank. Sort of, yeah, hey, lol. Other words, whatever. So I just started using it occasionally. But what had happened, or what has happened, is that escalated into me using the word dank just a bit too often. So I started using it, like ironically, like, ha ha ha, isn't this a dumb word? The youths of today say dank. And then that escalated into me saying it just a little bit too often and using the term dank when, quite frankly, I didn't actually really want to, and I just wanted to forget the word. I think I have since reduced my usage of the word dank. So the dankage has gone down quite a bit. But now I've probably escalated it by talking about it here with you. I think that raises an interesting question. Are there any words that you out there have used ironically or started using like, I'll just use this word jokingly because everybody says it, but that then has slipped into your vocabulary and you've started using that word on a more regular basis and you just think, I want to get rid of this word. I want to stop using this word, but you can't because you've burnt it into your head. If that's happened to you, get in touch. You can send us a tweet at L_who's talking on Twitter. Make sure it's a dank tweet. Well, that is it. That is it for this episode of Luke Who's Talking. Don't forget, you can send me a tweet, as mentioned earlier, at L_who's talking. You can send me an email, LukeWho'sTalkingPod@gmail.com. We're on the Facebooks as well. We're on Spotify. We're on Spotify. I can't remember if I mentioned that last episode, but yes, the podcast is on Spotify. We are on Stitcher, on the iTunes, and wherever you can get good podcasts, and probably places where you can get really awful podcasts as well. I'm going to work on getting the podcast on iHeartRadio and also onto TuneIn as well. So that'll be a couple more places for podcast. And I did talk about this like right at the start, but the podcast will eventually, maybe one day, be on YouTube. I just need to get off my buttocks and go out and shoot some footage so you're not looking at a boring blank screen with like audio waves on it. So not that you're really going to be looking at it anyway, like you're going to be listening, but just something nice for you to look at. Actually, I've got a couple of friends, a couple of film friends that they might be able to help me. I might have to send up a message, an email, Facebook them, tweet them, whatever kids do these days. Anyway, I'll catch you later.